Have you ever felt like your own mind is your biggest enemy? You sit down to focus on something important, your work, your studies, your goals, and suddenly, your mind starts pulling you into a world of thoughts you don't want to be in. Unwanted images, scenarios, and urges that you try to push away. But the harder you push, the stronger they come back. If you know this feeling, this constant inner battle, then trust me, you are not alone. Today, we're not just going to talk about this problem. We're going to find a real, practical solution. We'll explore how to remove sexual thoughts from your mind, and finally, take back control. When we face this issue, many of us search on YouTube for things like how to control your mind or how to stop overthinking. And what we find is often a lot of complex advice. The truth is, this is not something to be ashamed of. It's a natural human experience. But it becomes a problem when these thoughts start to drain our energy, steal our focus, and disturb our mental peace. To understand this better, let's dive into a story that might just change the way you see your own mind. Imagine a young, brilliant monk living in a peaceful monastery. He was dedicated, disciplined, and on a path to enlightenment. But he had a secret torment. His mind was a battlefield. No matter how hard he tried to focus on his spiritual practice, his mind was constantly flooded with sexual thoughts and desires. He was ashamed. He felt like a failure. How can I be a monk with such a dirty mind? He would ask himself. One day, while collecting alms in a village, he knocked on a door. A young woman of breathtaking beauty opened it. She had just finished her bath, and her wet hair clung to her radiant face. In that single moment, the monk's world froze. He took the alms and returned to the monastery, but he left his peace behind. That woman's image became a ghost in his mind. It haunted him day and night. When he closed his eyes to meditate, he saw her face. His inner turmoil grew, and his focus shattered. One day, unable to resist the pull, he secretly began to follow her as she went to the river to bathe. Hiding behind a tree, he watched her, his heart pounding with a painful mix of guilt and intense desire. He knew he was betraying everything he stood for, but the urge felt more powerful than his own will. His wise master, who had noticed the darkness growing around his brightest student, followed him that day. As the disciple stood there, lost in his secret world, the master quietly placed a hand on his shoulder. The young monk spun around, his face pale with shock and shame. The master didn't say a word. He simply led him to a stagnant, muddy pond. "My son," the master said gently, "can you cross this pond?" The monk looked at his only clean robe and began to take it off to save it from the mud. The master stopped him. "You are so careful about protecting this simple piece of cloth from mud?" he said, his voice full of compassion. "But what about your priceless mind, which you are letting drown in the mud of lust every single day?" Tears streamed down the young monk's face as he fell at his master's feet. The master continued, "You cannot fight mud by wrestling with it. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. The only way is to calmly step away and walk towards clean water. You have been fighting your thoughts. That is why they have become stronger. Do not fight them. Simply stop feeding them." That monastery is our mind. And the temptations the monk faced are all around us today, just a click away on our phone screens. That story teaches us a profound truth. What you feed your mind grows. If you constantly feed it with stimulating images and videos from social media, it will produce those kinds of thoughts. It's a simple principle. Garbage in, garbage out. The social media algorithm is designed to keep you hooked, creating a cycle of craving and consumption. And this is where I want to share something personal that helped me break this cycle. There was a time when I struggled with this too. My mind would feel so cluttered and restless. I realized that the best way to fight this was not to fight at all, but to get busy. I started learning new skills. I dove into coding, learned a new instrument, and spent hours getting lost in my work. When your mind is occupied with building something new and challenging, it simply doesn't have the space or energy for unwanted thoughts. So, how can you apply this in your life? Here are 4 practical, no-nonsense steps. Step 1. Audit and purge. The digital detox. Your first and most crucial step is to identify the sources. Which apps, websites, or social media accounts are triggering these thoughts? Be brutally honest with yourself. Once you've identified them, it's time for a digital detox. Unfollow, mute, or even delete them. This isn't about restriction. It's about reclaiming your mental space. Protect your focus like it's the most valuable thing you own, because it is. Step 2. Fill the void with purpose. When you remove old habits, you create a void. If you leave it empty, the old habits will rush back in. So, you must fill that void with something positive and purposeful. Instead of scrolling, pick up a book that inspires you. Go for a walk in nature. The fresh air and greenery have a scientifically proven calming effect on the brain. Start a journal. Write down your thoughts, your goals, your feelings. This helps to get them out of your head. Engage in physical exercise. It's the best way to channel your physical energy and increase your self-control. Step 3. Practice mindfulness and meditation. This is the most powerful tool for mastering your mind. Meditation isn't about stopping your thoughts. It's about learning to observe them without judgment. Start with just 10 minutes every day. Find a quiet place, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. When a thought comes, simply acknowledge it like a passing cloud in the sky and gently bring your focus back to your breath. Over time, this practice builds a gap between you and your thoughts, giving you the power to choose which ones to engage with. It will bring back your mental peace. Step 4. Embrace patience and self-compassion. This is a journey, not a race. There will be days when you slip up. On those days, do not beat yourself up. Guilt is a useless emotion that only pulls you deeper into the mud. Instead, practice self-compassion. Forgive yourself and simply decide to do better tomorrow. True strength isn't about never falling. It's about getting up every single time you fall. In the end, remember this: you are the gardener of your mind. You have the power to choose which seeds you plant. Avoid planting the seeds of lust and distraction. Instead, plant the seeds of knowledge, purpose, and mindfulness. The choice is yours. If these conversations add value to your life, and if you want to be a part of a community that is committed to self-improvement and motivational discussions, you can join our journey by subscribing. Your support is the motivation that fuels this channel. And to take this one step further, I have a small challenge for you. For the next 7 days, I want you to practice just 10 minutes of meditation every day. Let me know in the comments if you accept this challenge. And to help you with that, my very next video will be a guided 10-minute meditation designed specifically to help calm the mind. I'll put the link in the description as soon as it's live, so make sure you're subscribed. Until then, take care of your mind. See you in the next video.